Starting today, Canadians will pay more to gas their cars and heat their homes. The national price on pollution is rising by $15 per ton. The price change means filling a 50-liter tank with gas will cost an extra $1.65. And joining to discuss is Franco Terrazzano, Federal Director of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Franco, thank you for being here with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So where will we be seeing these changes the most?
Well, it's honestly just going to impact the necessities of life, right? The carbon tax will make it more expensive for you to fuel up your car, to heat your home, and to buy food. And now with the hike upon us, the carbon tax costs 17 cents a liter of gasoline, 21 cents per liter of diesel, and 15 cents per cubic meter of natural gas. But when you look at all the different ways that the carbon tax makes your life more expensive, well, the parliamentary budget officer found that the carbon tax will cost the average family up to $911 more this year than what they get back in rebates. So, it's so unfortunate. So many Canadians are struggling and need relief. And instead of making life more affordable, we see Prime Minister Justin Trudeau making life more expensive with this carbon tax hike.
What about Alberta? Because they are seeing a double tax raise today. What does this all mean for them?
Yeah, it's so unfortunate, right? It's so unfortunate that we see Premier Danielle Smith hiking the provincial gas tax out there in Alberta. Now, Smith has been a vocal in opposing Trudeau's carbon tax. She has stuck up for Albertans that way. But then to see her turn around and raise her own gas tax, I mean, that is not a good look. And when we're talking about the carbon tax, too, we also have to remember that it makes food prices go up, right? Because the carbon tax will cost Canadian farmers $1 billion by 2030. That's according to the PBO. So, look, the carbon tax is making it more expensive for Canadian farmers to grow food. It's making it more expensive for Canadian truckers to deliver food, and it's making it more expensive for Canadians to buy food. But specifically in Alberta, the carbon tax will cost the average family $911 more than what they get back in rebates. And to add insult to injury, you've got their own provincial government out there in Alberta also raising the gas tax.
Regardless of what side you're on, there are a lot of people who would agree that Canada does need to reduce its carbon emissions. What alternatives are there to this tax?
Well, here's the reason that Canadians oppose the carbon tax. And look, like the vast majority of Canadians, about 70%, were against Trudeau's carbon tax hike. Now, Canadians care about the environment, but, a carbon tax that makes it harder and more expensive for Canadian parents to fuel up their car to bring their kids to soccer practice, or a carbon tax in Canada that makes it harder for seniors to stay warm during the winter months, or a carbon tax that just makes it more expensive for all of us to buy food here in Canada, that's not going to solve a global climate change issue, right? And that's why Canadians, in addition to them feeling it in their wallets, are against the carbon tax. And it's so unfortunate to see Prime Minister Justin Trudeau not listen to Canadians and, again, make life more expensive with today's carbon tax hike.
That is our time. We'll have to leave it there. Franco Terrazzano, Federal Director of the Canadian Taxpayers Federation. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on.